One wish, Willow. You only get one wish. I wish Nikki Freeman loved me more than anyone in the entire world.
Welcome back to It's Been Real. I'm Ben, and today we're talking about Obsession, the new independent horror film from Curry Barker brought to you by Focus Features. One of the best ways I can describe this movie is that it's like an orchestra. Great films don't work because of just one great performance or one great shot. They work because every department is playing the same piece of music. The screenplay, performances, cinematography, editing, sound design, score, and direction all have to work together toward the same emotional goal. Obsession does exactly that. The first thing that stood out to me was the score. It doesn't just sit quietly in the background. It becomes an active part of the storytelling. The music amplifies the scares, punctuates reaction reveals, and heightens the characters' emotional moments. It gives fear a presence, building tension long before anything actually happens on screen. Instead of overpowering the scenes, it works hand in hand with the performances, making every unsettling chance, every pause, and every reveal feel just a little more intense. That's exactly what a great horror score should do. It doesn't tell the audience they're scared, it makes them feel it. I also love the setup. At its core, this is a variation of the classic Monkey's Paw, One Wish, or Love Potion story. That's a premise we've seen many times before, but that's never been the problem with storytelling. There are only so many variations of story ideas. What matters is telling them in a fresh new way, and Obsession succeeds because of its execution. The performances sell the concept, making you wonder what price someone would really pay for a single wish. The chemistry between the cast is another highlight. Cooper, who fans of Curry Barker's YouTube work will recognize, fits naturally into the story and the relationships feel believable. The film also delivers several unexpected twists that lead to a satisfying ending without relying on cheap surprises. Something else I appreciated was the use of practical effects. Instead of leaning heavily on CGI, the filmmakers chose simple practical techniques, and I think the movie is stronger because of it. Modern films often assume audiences need bigger and bigger visual effects to stay entertained. I don't think that's true. Sometimes creativity comes from asking what's the simplest way to communicate this visually. One of my favorite details was Nikki's gradual transformation. Her descent into the unsettling possession or curse is handled with remarkable subtlety. Her constant need to know Ian's whereabouts and her growing desire to control him suggests that the real Nikki has been imprisoned somewhere deep inside herself. Then at unexpected moments, we see flashes of the real Nikki fighting her way back to the surface. One telling moment is when she dances after getting out of the car. It doesn't feel like Nikki is dancing. It feels like something else is moving through her. Moments like that suggest she's struggling against an unseen force, slipping in and out of its control, and that restraint makes the performance even more unsettling. As the story unfolds, we also see Bear becoming trapped by the same curse. Rather than explaining everything outright, the film lets us experience that slow deterioration alongside the characters, making the mystery even more compelling. What I also appreciate is that the film never lets us forget who Bear is. His cold, callous decisions throughout the story reveal that he's ultimately not a good person. That makes his fate more interesting because while he's caught in the curse, he's also dealing with the consequences of his own choices. I also love the effect used on Nikki's eyes. It looks like the filmmakers borrowed a classic Hollywood technique using a small pen light or catch light with a subtle red gel to create an unnatural reflection. It gives her eyes an eerie red quality without expensive visual effects. Overall, I'd absolutely watch Obsession again. It's an impressive indie film, and I'm excited to see what Curry Barker creates next. More importantly, I think it represents something bigger. We're beginning to see YouTube creators successfully transition into feature filmmaking. Curry Barker is part of that movement alongside creators like Markiplier and Kane Parsons, whose Backrooms project has shown just how much talent is emerging from online creators. I recommend seeing the film, whether that's on the big screen or at home. Obsession is now available to stream on Peacock, making it easy for horror fans to experience Curry Barker's feature debut from home. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And again, I'm Ben. This has been It's Been Real. And I'll see you in the next review.